Spike Lee, kicking demons like Tai Chi, handle haters like Kyrie, never took God lightly. I pray that he order my steps, cause I just wanna walk wisely. Got brothers like Isley, but we ain't doing no singing. We battling demons, we cutting off heathens, we cry loud in every season. I'ma shine like a beacon, I promise I won't be defeated. When these little niggas get to cooning, boy, I feel like Huey Freeman. Yeah. Uncle Ruckus better bag back, keep a Bible in a knapsack. My God is black. Meditated on the word of God, I came off the milk, no Similac. Got more heart than cardiac, that's why the flow's like cognac. Satan better mind his beeswax, put a heathen on his kneecap. I repented from being a nigga, I pray to God I don't relapse. Mama taught me how to speak facts, daddy taught me how to fight back. My daddy died when I was still a youngin', no kid ever needs that. Why me, Lord, why me? I'm just trying to do the right thing. Got me feeling like Spike Lee, kicking demons like Tai Chi, handle haters like Kyrie, never took God lightly. I pray that he order my steps, cause I just wanna walk wisely. Keep God on my psyche, and my word divided rightly. Friend is on looking icy, and a fresh pair of Nikes. Give a damn if you like me, you better talk to me nicely. They don't entice me, the spirit ignite me, that's why the flow extra spicy. That's hot like a ghost pepper. Do better if you knew better. Me and Satan got a vendetta. Jacob's son, I'm a trendsetter. I pray to God to prevent errors. I stand the rain like New Edition, cause God protect me like umbrellas. I'm ill like salmonella, kill beats and acapellas. I follow God since a young fella, cause the Bible heals like aloe vera. Keep my feet shod with the gospel, trying to walk like the 12 apostles. Well, maybe not Judas, boy, I ain't that foolish. Why me, Lord, why me? I'm just trying to do the right thing. Got me feeling like Spike Lee, kicking demons like Tai Chi, handle haters like Kyrie, never took God lightly. I pray that he order my steps, cause I just wanna walk wisely.
Test. all your cares behind. If you wanna feel better, we got good vibes for you. If you wanna feel better.
Hey, shalom, shalom, family. Most High Christ bless, Most High Christ bless. We figured, for those that's on your way home, uh, from work or headed to work, you can ride and listen to the Smooth Grooves by UIC Radio. Nah, man, hey, but hey, we are here. Today we gonna continue the 365 reading today. So, I'm also Aton of IUIC Columbia, and we're going to be going over Joshua chapter 13, verse 16 through chapter 16. Joshua chapter 13 through chapter 16 today. So, it's going to be a whole lot of names in there. So, hey, bear with me, but I'm going to do my best. Hey, don't hold it against me if I mispronounce an A or I or something like that. But bear with me, though. It's going to be good. Uh, all right, so we'll go ahead and jump right into it. You good? You ready? You ready? All right. Joshua chapter 13, verse 1. Now Joshua was old and stricken in years, and the Lord said unto him, Thou art old and stricken in years, and there remaineth yet very much land to be possessed. And the reason why it says that there is much land to be possessed is because of the fact that the Most High had already said that He wasn't going to just drive out these other nations like in one day, like I said back in Exodus 23. I think it was pulled in the reading before. We'll get it real quick. I ain't gonna have a lot of precepts today. It's gonna be a lot of words today, a lot of long words today. So we'll just get straight to the point. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 29. And it says, I will not drive them out before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee until thou be increased and inherit the land. So that's why it says in Joshua that there will remain yet very much land to be possessed. And then also, I think Deacon Nathani actually put it in class this past week as to why these nations was left among us in Judges chapter 3 and verse, let's see, 2. Matter of fact, we'll start at 1 real fast. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof. So these nations was left among us to teach us war. So and the fact that the Most High had already stated that He wasn't going to drive them out, it was going to be little by little as we increased and learned war. That's why they were left among us, and to prove us whether or not we were going to keep the commandments of God. And of course, we all know what ended up happening. But we're going to get into that today. It'll come later on as we read. All right. So back in Joshua chapter 13, and we'll start at 2. All right. This is the land that yet remaineth, all the borders of the Philistines and the Gershurite, from Shahar, which is before Egypt, even unto the borders of Ekron, northward, which is counted to the Canaanite, 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazathites, and the Ashdodites, and the Ashkelonites, the Gittites, and the Akronites, also the Avites. From the south, all the lands of the Canaanites, and the and Mirah, that is beside the Sidonians, unto Aphek, to the borders of the Amorites, and the land of the Giblites, and all Lebanon, toward the sun rising from Bilgad under Mount Hermon, unto the entering unto Hamath. So this right here is actually going into the different Philistines, like I said, the 5 lords and all of them that was in these lands that had to be, driven out of these lands. Verse 6. All the inhabitants of the hill country of Lebanon unto Mesrephothmaim, and all the Sidonians, them will I drive out from before the children of Israel. Only divide thou it by lot unto the Israelites for an inheritance, as I have commanded thee. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance unto the 9 tribes and the half tribe of Manasseh. So that, like it said, that this is supposed to be divided only unto the Israelites. So when you actually jump back over to Joshua 11 and 8, and then of course in Numbers 33 and 54, it actually talks about how these lands were already told that we must divide them among our people. So we'll continue on. Verse 7. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance unto the 9 tribes and the half tribe of Manasseh, with whom the Reubenites and the Gadites have received their inheritance, which Moses gave them beyond Jordan eastward, even as Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them. From Aroer, that is upon the bank of the river of Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain of Medeba, unto Debon, and all the cities of Shahan, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, under the border of the children of Ammon, and Gilead, and the border of the Gershurites, and the Mechathites, and all the Mount Hermon, and all Bashan and Selka, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, which reigned in Ashtaroth, and Aduri, which remained of the remnant of the giants, for these did Moses smite and cast them out. Nevertheless, the children of Israel expelled not the Gershurites, nor the Mechathites, but the Gershurites and the Mechathites dwelt among the Israelites until this day. Only unto the tribes of Levi he gave none inheritance. The sacrifices of the Lord God of Israel made by fire are their inheritance, as he said unto them. And so this right here is actually stating that, of course, the Levites did not have an inheritance of the land. Matter of fact, Numbers 18 and 20. I think it even says the same exact thing. The same exact thing where it said it way before that that they would not get that they would actually not have an inheritance. They would actually live among us in our different suburbs, meaning within the cities, in our different towns. Let's see. Yeah, Numbers chapter 18, verse 20. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. So he had already mentioned that back then, and so that's just being carried out as you're just reading the different accounts. And now we're in Joshua of the things that actually was stated back then, that is actually being carried out. In verse 15, Joshua 13 and 15. And Moses gave unto the tribe of the children of Reuben inheritance according to their families. And their coast was from Aroer, that is the bank of the river Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain by Medeba, Heshbon, and all her cities that are in the plain, Dibon, and Bamothbeal, and Bethbeal, Meon, and Shahazah, and Kedemoth, and Mephath, and Kirjathaim, and Sibma, and Zareth-Shihar in the mount of the valley, and Beth Peor, and Ashdod Pagah, and Beth-Jesh Emoth, and all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Shahan, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses smote with the princes of Midian, Evi, and Rakim, and Zur, and Hor, and Reba, which were dukes of Shahan, dwelling in the country. Balaam also, the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among them that were slain by them. So this Balaam right here is talking about the same one that was back in Numbers 22 and 5, which we read about the ass that was speaking to him like, yo, you don't see this angel standing here trying to kill us. This is the same one that was going after the lust of greed. This is that same one. He ended up getting put to death. Verse 23. And the border of the children of Reuben was Jordan, and the border thereof. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben after their families, the cities and the villages thereof. And Moses gave inheritance unto the tribe of Gad, even unto the children of Gad according to their families. And their coast was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon unto Aroer, that is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon unto Ramoth Mizpah, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim unto the border of Debir, and in the valley of Betharam, and Beth Nimrah, and Succoth, and Ziphah, the rest of the kingdom of Shahan, king of Heshbon, Jordan and his border, even unto the edge of the sea of Chinnereth, on the other side Jordan, eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad after their families, the cities and their villages. And Moses gave inheritance unto the half tribe of Manasseh, and this was the possession of the half tribe of the children of Manasseh by their families. And their coast was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 80 cities, and half Gilead and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og and Bashan, were pertaining unto the children of Machir, to the son of Manasseh, even to the one half of the children of Machir by their families. These are the countries which Moses did distribute for inheritance in the plains of Moab, on the other side Jordan, by Jericho eastward. But unto the tribe of Levi Moses gave not any inheritance. The Lord God of Israel was their inheritance, as he said unto them. So it's in the same thing that is said in verse 14. All right? Chapter 14. And these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed for inheritance to them. By lot was their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and a half on the other side Jordan, but unto the Levites he gave none inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance. So like I stated before, the Levites were living in the suburbs, which is the towns right among the people, and that was for their substance and for their cattle. They didn't actually have a land that was designated to themselves. It was actually throughout all the many tribes. All right. Verse 5. As for the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord said unto Moses the man of God concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land, and I brought him word again as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. So this right here is actually going into when Moses had actually sent them out to actually espy out the land, and he actually gave them a promise. So let's just read that real fast. Numbers 3 and 26, I believe. That's what I want. Is that what I want? Numbers 3, Numbers 13. I'm tripping. Can't read my own handwriting sometimes. Let's see. 13 and 26. Yeah. All right. So then, matter of fact, we'll jump up to 25. And it says in Numbers 13:25, and they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people be strong and dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it." So this was Caleb's spirit right here. Caleb wasn't playing no games. Caleb was, he was about that business. He was ready to go cut people heads off, take the land, because, he understood the Most High had already promised us the land, so he ain't have no fear. He have no fear. Verse 31, but the men that went up with him said, "We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, "The land, though through which we have gone to search it, is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so were in their sight." So these men made the people afraid. These men actually made the people afraid. And so Caleb wasn't like that. Caleb was he was doing his thing, and he was like, "We finna go take it. Hey, y'all calm down. Most High already promised it to us. Don't be afraid." But then the men that went with him, they were afraid. It made the people doubt. And so now let's go back to Joshua chapter 14. We are at verse 9. All praises. And Moses swore unto that day, saying, "Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed the Lord my God. And now, behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years since the Lord spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in." So this right here, so this right here goes into the fact that that this man now, he's 85 years old and he's in perfect health. I know right now, I know there's a big push because the bishop now have been putting out, the deacons been putting it out there that we all need to take care of our bodies, take care of our health. Look, there's a point in the time we all are gonna die. But that doesn't mean you have to be miserable and sitting there hooked up to all kind of machines while you hurt. You know what I mean? So we'll read a little bit about that as to how we do that. So let's get let's read, because Moses also was the same way. Deuteronomy 34:7. Deuteronomy 34:7. And it says, "And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes was not dim, nor his natural force abated." So he had all the strength of a young man, and he had the vision of a young man, even though he was 120 years old. You know what I mean? And so look, a lot of us ain't living to be 120 years old, but at the same time, hey, we making it to 60 and 70, and at 50, we hooked up on machines. So just like leadership has been pushing it. We're going to just read a couple scripts just to remind everybody. And this is also for myself. I'm starting to change my diet. And so, hey, we all got to do that thing. So let's get Sirach 30. Sirach 30 and 15. Sirach 30 and verse 15. And it says, "Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness." So you could says death is better than continual sickness, because you imagine you on the earth and you ain't dead. You got 20 years to go, and you sitting in the bed, or you struggling just to walk up and down the steps because we're not taking care of our health. So if you get a chance, just read Sirach 30 and 31, and we'll jump to Sirach 31 and 22, because the same way we make haste to stop the different sins and things like that, because a lot of us deal with gluttony, even though it's not a topic that we talk about a lot all the time, but a lot of us deal with it. So it's not, we eating a lot. We cut down a little bit what you eat. and also eat better food. Sometimes they eat the veggies. I'm starting to change it myself. Like I said, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, y'all. Sirach 31 and 22. So it says, "My son, hear me and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find, as I told thee, in all thy works be quick." So we must be fast in all our works. That includes how we eat, how we change our diet. Be quick, so shall there no sickness come unto thee. So like it said, that continual sickness, if we make haste to change those things about our diet, the Most High will also keep away those bad sicknesses, that diabetes, everything causing our limbs and things like that, for us to have to get them cut off just to live. So if we can change our diet quickly, we may be able to avoid some of these things. So let's go back. Let's go back to Joshua. Joshua 14, and now we are at 12. So Joshua chapter 14 and verse 12. "Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof the Lord spake in that day. For thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. And Joshua blessed him, and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and the Kenizzite, unto this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel. And the name of Hebron before was Kirjath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war." Chapter 15. "This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even unto the borders of Edom, the wilderness of Zin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast. And their south border was from the shore of the salt sea, from the bay that looketh southward, and it went out to the south side of Malakarabim, and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along Hezron, and went up to Adar, and fetched the compass to Karka. From thence it passed toward Asmon, and went out unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast." And so, and as we read through this, I know we didn't pull up a map, because we're not going to locate every location and stuff like that. But as you go back and read and listen to the audios, as you listen to all of the different teachers, and we're reading these locations, it won't hurt to look through your Bible atlas, or to look these places up, and you can actually see the areas that we're all reading about at this point in time in the reading. All right. Verse 5. "And the east border was the salt sea, even unto the end of Jordan. And their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth-Hogla, and passed along by the north of Betharaba. And the border went up to the stone of Bahan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up toward Debir, from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal. This is before the going of the Adumim, which is on the south side of the river. And the border passed toward the waters of En Shemesh, and the goings out thereof were in Rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom unto the south side of the Jebusite. The same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of the water of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border was drawn to Baalah, which is Kirjath Jearim. And the border compassed from Baalah westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of the Mount Jearim, which is Chesalon, on the north side, and went down to Bethshemesh, and passed on to Timnah. And the border went out unto the side of Ekron northward. And the border was drawn to Shekron, and passed along to Mount Baalah, and went out unto Jabneel, and the goings out of the border was at the sea, and the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Judah round about, according to their families. And unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a part among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. Need a break, man. I can take some water, all these names. All right. Verse 14. And Caleb drave thence the three sons of Anak, Shishai, and Ahiman, and Telmai, the children of Anak. And he went up thence to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath-Sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath-Sepher, and taketh it, to him will I give Exah my daughter to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Exah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass, as she came unto him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she lighted off her ass. And Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a southland. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah were toward the coast of Edom, southward, were Kabzeel, and Eder, and Jagor, and Cana, and Demonah, and Adada, and Kadesh, and Hazor, and Ithnan, Ziph, and Telem, and Bealoth, and Hazor, Hadadatah, and Kerioth, and Hezron, which is Hazor, Ammon, and Shema, and Malada, and Hazargada, and Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, and Hazar Shuel, and Beersheba, and Bizjatja, Beilah, and Aim, and Ezem, and El-Talad, and Chasil, and Hermah, and Ziklag, and Metamana, and Senasana, and Lebioth, and Shelhim, and Ain, and Rimmon, and all the cities are 29 with their villages. And in the valley, Estaol, and Zariah, and Eshna, and Zanoah, and Enganim, Tepuah, and Anam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Sakul, and Ezekah, and Sharaim, and Adadim, and Gedera, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zanan, and Hadashah, and Migdagad, and Dilion, and Mespah, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Beskoth, and Eglon, and Kaban, and Lemon, and Kethlish. Whew. Wow. Golly, where am I? 41? Oh, man. All right. Whew. All right, 41. And Gederoth, Beth Dagon, and Naamoth, Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages, Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Jephthah, and Ashna, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Eshzib, and Marashah, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron, with her towns and her villages, from Ekron even unto the city, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod with her towns and her villages, Gaza with her towns and her villages, unto the river of Egypt, and the great sea, and the border thereof, and in the mountains Shamir, and Jatir, and Sakul, and Dana, and Kirjathsena, which is Debir, and Anab, and Ishtama, and Anam, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, and Duma, and Ishian, and Jenim, and Betupua, and Ephaka, and Hitta, and Kirjatharba, which is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Helhur, Bethzur, and Gedor, and Merath, and Bethanath, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages. Kirjath Beal, which is Kirjath Jearim, and Reba, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness of Betharba, Middin, and Sakeka, and Nibshan, and the cities of Salt, and Egedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem until this day. All right, let me take a breather real fast. But as we read, like I said, and Judah could not drive them out. But as you read later on, matter of fact, let's read that. Let's get 1 Kings, I believe, 9 and 20, because later on, actually, David actually conquered this land, I believe. 1 Kings 9 and 20 through 21, I believe it is. Yeah. All right. Yeah, 20 and 21. All right. And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which were not of the children of Israel, their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy, upon those did Solomon levy a tribute of bond service unto this day. So they were actually forced. They were forced to become our bond servants. So they were our servants. So this right is under Solomon, and then of course in 2 Samuel 5 and 6. I think that's the one I wanted. Yeah. Yep. 2 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 6. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither. Thinking David could not come in hither. So they were thinking that David was going to get past them walls, and they weren't going to come into the city. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same is the city of David. And David said, On that day, whosoever getteth up to the gutter and smiteth the Jebusites and the lame and the blind that are hated of David's soul, he shall be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come unto the house. So David dwelt in the fort and called it the city of David, and David built round about from Milo and inward. So David was in that location as well, as we read that. All right, let's get back to the names. Took a break. She said, what now? All right. All right, so we just got a message saying that the volume is low. I think it was one person, but hey. All right. I think you good. Turn up just a little. Is the volume okay? Okay. We'll get back to it. It's the chapter 16. Joshua chapter 16. Um, and like I said before, I'll say it again as we wait to hear back and make sure the volume's good. Is that as we read through these different locations, it doesn't hurt to actually pull up a map and actually or look in your Bible atlas and actually find out where these different cities were located that the children of Israel that we had conquered at that time and that were living amongst us, just like Deacon Nathan had pulled out a beautiful class this Sabbath and actually showed some of these areas, and when he went into his lesson. So it's definitely great to sometimes go and look at those maps, to be able to get a geographical location of where these cities exist. All right. All right. Last chapter, chapter 16. And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east, to the wilderness that goeth up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel, and goeth out from Bethel to Luz. Now this location right here is actually the same place where our forefather Jacob was at. We'll get that. Genesis 28 and 19. Yeah. This right here is the same location, which is where you read about. I believe it's when Jacob had the dream, about the ladder that reached up into heaven. This right here is actually where he had that vision. So when you go down and read verse 18, Genesis chapter 28, verse 18, and Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil up on the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at first. So we're reading about it in Joshua, where our forefather had already been to that location, and we're just going back to take it back. That's what we're doing. All right. So Joshua chapter 16 and verse 2 again. And goeth out from Bethel to Luz, and passeth along unto the borders of Archi to Adaroth, and goeth down westward to the coastal of Japhleti, unto the coast of Beth Horon, the nether, and to Gezer, and the goings out thereof are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance, and the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus. Even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Adarothadar unto Beth Horon the upper, and the border went out toward the sea to Mechmatha on the north side, and the border went about eastward unto Nathshalom, and passed by it on the east to Genoa. And it went down from Genoa to Adaroth and to Naroth, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. The border went out from Tappuah westward unto the river Cana, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim by their families. And the separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages, and they drave not out the Canaanites that dwelled in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelled among the Ephraimites unto this day, and served under tribute. So they were also forced to be under tribute, our bond servants as well. So that is the end of the reading today. I know it was short. There's a lot of names, a lot of places, as far as a lot of cities and locations. But was there any questions or anything pertaining to what we read today? We'll give it like a few seconds to see if something pop up. A lot of I made it. Anything? Huh? Oh man. Phew. I see him. I see him. Good deal. Okay. All praise to the Most High, man. I don't see any questions popping up. So hey, we're gonna end it right there for the day. And Lord's will, everybody get to tune in tomorrow with the next teacher, and and continue to follow along. And like I said, don't forget, man. If you can get some time to study and actually look over these locations on the map, and it'll give you a great sense of where these locations were that we were actually moving and conquered as we walked through the land. All right. So with that, family, we say shalom, Most High Christ bless.